Y'all keep on talking about my stats like I want to end my night with 19 kills and a victory on Call of Duty. What? James Harden like that on Call of Duty? He play on PC too. Yeah, send me that NBA shit. The Assassin's Creed series, we don't care. We don't care. The latest gameplay update for the upcoming Shadows has informed us that the traditional stealth system will undergo a massive overhaul. This article is about new features in the game. Although a few key aspects from previous games have been removed, the title Shadows does an excellent job defining the new focus on stealth. So despite whispers that stealth will have a huge step back in Shadows, I never heard those whispers, the stealth structure of Assassin's Creed has been evolving from its original form for a long time. Compared to other recent titles, it actually looks like a step in the good direction, although some may still argue if it's the right direction for Assassin's Creed. When a series has been around as long as this one, thank you for the link. You're gonna upset some people. You're not wrong. The first thing I saw was a titty streamer as well. I was like, yeah, I'm out of here. That website's not gonna last because the streamer that they're focusing on, that party site, is Jack Doherty. I'm like, yeah, you people have no fucking shame, dude. Their top streamer is Jack Doherty. You mean the dude who crashed the car on the highway and damn near blew up the world? Mind you, that person, like, going back to the person, like, you should stick to gaming, don't talk politics. Like, that type of shit is what I be talking about right there. A person like Jack Doherty, who blew up a fucking McLaren on the highway and almost killed his friend and told him to keep live streaming it, almost killed a bunch of people on the highway, got an exclusive deal, and it had to be for a lot of money for him to sign with that no-name website, got an exclusive deal versus someone like me. Don't talk about politics. I'm black. Got to work 4 times as hard to get half of what they get. What the fuck are we talking about? Shit is crazy. Just shut up and dribble. I just want skilled assassinations, no teleport cheesy shit. I feel that. Back to Assassin's Creed though. Yeah, you know you gotta be bad when you get banned from Kick. Odyssey and Origins implemented a literal ego with an overhead perspective to replace the classic eagle vision. Yet Shadows like Valhalla removed this in favor of the original version. Yeah, we know. What new features you got? This means scouting a base before in favor of the original version, allowing players to see through walls. So they're bringing back eagle vision. Okay, that's not a new feature. To be fair, the eagle tool is in previous Assassin's Creed games, may allow players to breeze by stealth and minimize the amount of risk involved with any stealth move you decided to make. I feel like eagle vision made the game easy compared to the actual ego. Although fans of the modern Assassin's Creed titles may feel a bit naked, we suspect this new version will only make stealth gameplay more enthralling. Another addition to this title should make the difference between assassination and combat segments more engaging. There is a dynamic distinction between the two main characters, the samurai Yasuke and the assassin Naoe, who are vastly different in stealth and combat. Yasuke, being a big, bulky black guy, relies on much different stealth tactics than the more nimble Naoe. Yeah, we know that already. New stealth mechanics and abilities. I like the wall hack, not gonna lie. It allows you to cheese the game.
Thanks for the follow, but unfortunately, dick riding is not a proper form of transportation. You hear that, Shadow? Get off my man Sonic's dick!
Both main characters have their own unique tool set for tackling stealth. Naoe uses 4 stealth tools: smoke bombs, shinobi bells, kunai knives, and the shuriken. While Yasuke lacks these abilities, his bow still allows him to remain silent while doing takedowns on numerous enemies. Of Naoe's 4 abilities, the stealth bombs and shinobi bells primarily distract enemies while whether escaping intimate danger or getting around them quietly. Kunai can be used for easy one-hit kills, and while shuriken may only momentarily stun enemies, they can still be strategically used when sneaking through a larger base. They saying stuff we already know. Yeah, I feel like I already know this shit. A few modifiers make the stealth much more engaging from a gameplay perspective, such as added mechanics like the series' first prone ability. Additionally, there's an added focus on enemy senses, as staying in complete darkness hides you completely, and you must remain careful about sounds and footsteps. Okay, so you got to be wary if there's any like not jewelry, but like pots and pans nearby. You don't want to hit them to make noise. With Nightingale floors specifically designed to creak, allowing enemies to hear any approaching assassin, making strategic takedowns in more populated areas more challenging than ever. When the game comes out, I will be testing that. You know, that's my favorite thing to do. First stealth moment, we got to test the AI. We gonna see. Because you can add more sound to the environment, make the wood more creaky. But if I just walk away and hide in a bush and they say, oh, it must have been the wind, who gives a fuck? So we gonna see. A massive highlight is the higher level enemies, such as samurai, will have added resistance, such as being able to dodge an incoming assassination attempt. This means you'll have to work around bases with added precision and level up your stealth abilities to deal with higher difficulty areas. Even if it may not be the direction all fans have hoped for, this focus on samurai, added AI intelligence like patrolling in pairs, and player tools make this new stealth system feel like a massive improvement upon the recent Assassin's Creed stealth mechanics. Interesting. Must have been to win. The movement has always been a little janky. I'm gonna be bumping into shit. Maybe because I play a lot of Assassin's Creed, I feel like I pick it up pretty quickly. The only one that I feel like that was janky recently was Assassin's Creed Mirage, and that's because Bassam was a fat loser, like Joel Embiid. But what up, Big Rex Russ? But like for the most part, I feel like a lot of them are pretty fluid. I didn't really have no problems on Odyssey or Origins. Even Valhalla, like the movement was fine to me. I just didn't really like the story. We got an update on the company that's looking to buy the parent company of From Software. According to this rumor from GameRanks, From Software's owner may have been approached by Sony themselves to block the hostile takeover from Kakao. Basically, they're saying that From Software's parent company might have approached Sony, not Sony approached them. As reported yesterday, the company officially confirmed that Sony made them an offer, but they have yet to make a decision. As shared on the Gaming Leaks and Rumors subreddit, they theorize that this may be something to do with another current, I don't know, Kadawa, I don't know how to pronounce that shit, shareholder, Kakao. So there's another company that was trying to buy them is what I'm getting out of this. Is it Cow? Is that how you say it? I don't know. Somebody's gonna make fun of me. Like anytime I try to pronounce any of this Japanese shit, people in Hokage highlights. You need to learn how to speak. That's the worst pronunciation of X, Y, and Z. My bad. I don't pronounce these things every day, and I speed through it because I'm most likely never going to pronounce it after this article. Jesus Christ. It's like I live in America or something. You just said cock. It was funny. Fucking cock. Hell yeah. Let's see. With their hands deep in the dinner, unlike them, Sony and Kakao is from South Korea, and their core business of Kakao Talk, a messaging app that is the #1 revenue for both iOS and Android. So there's a South Korean company that's trying to buy From Software. Oh, and they're saying maybe From Software, well, the parent company of From Software wants to keep it in-house. If they are to get bought out, they'd rather be bought out by a Japanese company. Interesting. Just call it caca, means shit in Spanish. Well, I know that, but they're not shit. Off topic, but what's your take on Russ? Are you talking about Russell Westbrook? He had a triple-double the other day, but other than that, he's been kind of, tail end of his career. He's playing like somebody at the tail end of his career. That's what you're talking about. Which is nice. What did you link over here? Oh, Hawkeye.
What's up, Rival?
All right, we'll check that out, and then we'll do the Dynasty Warriors one. Hawkeye gameplay plus full abilities, Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals is coming out soon. It comes out December 6th, and they've added Hawkeye. I like this design. They actually made him look cool. I'm going to take a wild guess and say he plays like the one Japanese dude from Overwatch with the bow and arrow. Probably plays just like him, does crazy damage.
Today, we finally get to reveal Hawkeye in Marvel Rivals. This video will cover a full breakdown of his abilities as well as gameplay from a real match. I don't want to waste a single second of your time, so let's get right into it. Hawkeye is a ranged DPS sniper character that loves to sit back and pick off enemies. His left click is a piercing arrow that can be charged up for more damage, and his passive increases the damage the longer you're aiming at it.
Like Spider-Man, this character, if he's on your team and he's a random, if it's your friend, this character is either going to be the best player on the team or the worst. I predict Hawkeye players are going to cause a lot of headaches and angry tweets because this is a skill-based character. You need good aim, deals a lot of damage, but also has a slow shot. Expect a lot of complaining about Hawkeye players.
At an enemy. The longer you keep your sights on a target, the more damage it's going to deal. And with the fully charged left click headshot, you can KO squishier characters in one hit. Hawkeye's left click has infinite ammo and never needs to reload. His right click fires 3 explosive arrows, dealing some splash damage. This is a nice ability to throw into clumped up teams or when you're outnumbered. This ability does have an ammo count of 3, so you can't constantly spam it like you can Hawkeye's left click, but the ammo for it does recharge pretty fast. His shift ability slashes forward with his katana, damaging enemies and knocking them away.
That's cool.
This is a great CC tool to create some space for yourself, since Hawkeye's always going to prefer fighting at a range.
Oh, there is. Okay, so you can't. I see it right there. It was a 12. It was a 12-second cooldown, so you can't spam his sword. It's just a defensive ability to knock people back.
This ability knocks them back and also makes them airborne for just a moment, removing their ability to dodge and strafe.
No, that sword could make him broken if there
just
wasn't no
right, you can
cooldown.
Katana swipe into a clean
Mega
headshot
Hawkeye.
combo. His E is a sonic arrow that can pierce through multiple
sweet.
enemies. It deals a bit of area of effect damage, but more importantly, this ability knocks flyers right out of the sky, dropping them to the ground. This, along with his
moves so
long range
slow,
on his
though.
left click, makes Hawkeye an excellent
Yeah,
anti-air
you're
character.
supposed to play the back with him because he's a ranged character. He's a sniper.
Hawkeye can double jump, which is a great mobility tool to dodge enemy fire, quickly gain the high ground, and also to give you some super slick aerial
It's
shots.
better than Overwatch, low
People's
key.
melee attack works just like a normal
This shit's
melee,
fire.
dealing
We
damage.
were
except
on
it
this shit. We
also
gonna be on it
deflects
heavy.
all projectiles, which might just be the coolest thing in the game. Hawkeye's ultimate is Hunter's Sight. Hawkeye enters a state of complete focus, allowing him to see after images of moving targets, and damaging these after images deals damage to the enemy
What?
itself.
This nigga is Hanzo for scrubs. I don't know how I feel about that. I hope it take a long time to get the alt, cause that's broken. That is cheap. That is a scrub ass move, bruh. And did you see how
This
much
makes it
damage that did too? It didn't tickle the pickle. It did heavy damage when he hit the shadow clone.
Ultimate is Hunter's Sight. Hawkeye
Like,
enters
look
a
at the
state
damage
of
it's doing.
complete focus.
I feel like the
allowing him to
easy way to balance this, if you're gonna allow people to damage off the clone, because you're not hitting the real person, the clone should do less damage. And if you hit the real person, you get a bonus because you're in your ultimate. I feel like that's an easy way to balance it. I don't know whose idea was that. I feel like he's gonna come out broken and people are gonna bitch about it and they're gonna dial it back.
after images of moving targets.
Because it takes
and
less
damaging
skill to
these
hit the
after
clone.
images deals damage to the enemy itself. This makes it pretty much impossible for Hawkeye to miss, but that's not all, because activating your ultimate also instantly maxes out your passive, which means you can rapidly fire much faster without having to keep your
You're literally
reticle on an
rewarding
enemy
bad
to
aim,
charge up your
yeah.
shots.
So I'm gonna call it right now. If anybody's running MAGA Hawkeye, you gotta focus him and get him the fuck out. Don't let him get started, basically. Get the healer out of there too.
Hawkeye is a 4-star difficulty character, and for good reason. You've got to have great aim to get the maximum value out of your left click and passive, and also a decent
That
sense
alt
of
didn't
timing
look very
and rhythm
4-star difficulty to me.
to keep a steady rate of fully charged arrows flying. Good Hawkeye players are going to be absolutely terrifying with his ability to snipe characters, knock flyers out of the air, deflect projectiles, and rain down explosive arrows. Let me know if you're going to be a Hawkeye main down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one, Rivalers.
Honestly, he seems like a pretty balanced character. He works like exactly how I thought. I thought the sword was cool. The only thing I'm concerned about is, yeah, that alt. I can see that alt being dialed back a little bit, because a lot of times when characters come out, they're usually really broken. But he looks cooler than I thought. Like, I'd try him out at least. I don't know if it'd be for me. I'd prefer they gave him his Arrow Rain Super from Marvel Capcom 3. True, true. What the comments say. Everyone is my main at this point. I'm going to 100% be a Hawkeye main. Said nobody ever. In a world of immortal gods and planet nuking brutes, one man stands tall with his trusty bow. I can't decide which character to main. You're amazing. I'm excited for this game to fully come out, because when it was in alpha, like, it was nothing but sweats on there. And we was getting wins. Don't get me wrong. I actually think we was winning most of the time. We was getting wins. But I'm excited for when everybody gets on it. So it'd be scrubs on there so we can start dominating and shit. Not every game. Every match was sweaty in the fucking alpha. When this becomes available to everybody, every match won't be sweaty, which I like. Looks cool though. Look forward to it. December 6th, December 6th, December 6th. We also got a preview video for the new Dynasty Warriors. Remember someone said they're dropping Carnage. Was there a trailer? I haven't seen anything about that. Yeah, it's going to be free. It's a free-to-play game. And it'll be on console as well. I believe there's crossplay, PC and console. Dynasty Warriors Origins first preview. For them to get a preview video, it better be something new in here. It's only 7 minutes.
Few games let you smite hundreds of enemies with grandiose attacks as well as the long-running Dynasty Warriors series does, and so in a sense, the latest one, Dynasty Warriors Origins, is competing with its past self, but with an enhanced combat system that rewards and incentivizes parrying and perfectly dodging enemy attacks, and a more significant focus on telling the story of the Romance of the Three Kingdoms novels from a new perspective, it made a great first impression. These elements were all up my alley for a new Dynasty Warriors game, and playing it left me feeling a sense of wonder, intrigue, and a hunger for more.
Okay, Lloyd Banks, hunger for more? What y'all know about her?
Playing Origins was one of those odd phenomena where the images on the screen finally matched what my younger brain had been seeing when playing earlier games in the series. Bases were bigger, forests were lusher, and the screen was filled with more enemies for me to slash and punch on my way to victory than ever before. The spectacle and visuals of Origins are the best.
Is the gameplay decent? Dynasty Warriors is the Chick-fil-A, the McDonald's, you know, the Wendy's of gaming. Like, if you had a long day, Dynasty Warriors, I wouldn't recommend buying every one, but every once in a while I'll buy a Dynasty Warriors. It's a really good game to play when you come home from your 9 to 5, you're stressed out, and you just want to decompress. You don't want to hop on Call of Duty and sweat. You don't want to hop on Marvel Rivals and sweat Valorant. You boot up Dynasty Warriors and you turn your brain off and you literally just slaughter thousands of men.
Best they've ever been, and sure, a lot of that is thanks to the power of modern hardware, but it's also the quality of everything on display. Long gone are the barren lands and mostly identical trees of Dynasty Warriors 9's open world, the repetitive textures on buildings, or the rock faces surrounding most levels in games before that. Origins' world and characters are full of life, and each one is detailed more than ever, from their armor to their weapons. Furthermore, Dynasty Warriors Origins introduces a new overworld map mechanic to traverse between battles. This diorama-like map can be explored to find various towns or cities to purchase items, NPCs to converse with, and missions to undertake. I only got to view a small portion of the map, but I did catch a glimpse of the fast travel button, meaning there are most likely at least enough of these areas to explore to warrant the need for such a system. Origin's story is told from the perspective of a new original protagonist who will be interacting with important warriors such as Liu Bei, Zhang Fei, and Lu Bu.
A new character.
Yes, that Lu Bu. Origin's story, as the title suggests, also occurs earlier than its predecessors, so the recognizable allies and enemies all have a new youthful vibrancy in and out of combat. And that combat, by the way, felt great.
That's what I want to hear about.
Every swing of my sword or staff was responsive, and perfect parries or dodges were accompanied by flashy animations, with perfect parries giving an even more considerable advantage in turning the tides on opponents.
Okay, so they got a new parry mechanic. My question is, do you actually need to use it, or is it mindless? Like, does it add layers to the gameplay?
And combos feel better than ever when chained with special moves and other abilities meant to preempt enemy attacks and knock them off balance. Add that to the sounds of the Yellow Turban Army shrieking in fear and death, and the cheers of my allies as my KO counter rose into the hundreds, and it felt like the quintessential Dynasty Warriors experience I have been missing for years. Some may be surprised or caught off guard when hearing about things like perfect parries or dodges in a Dynasty Warriors game. I'm happy to report that those who want to button mash their combos through hordes of enemies will be able to do just that on the lower difficulties, just like in the older games. But for those wanting to push themselves and challenge the harder difficulties, they'll need to make full use of these systems.
You know, I'm not mad at running through bases and slaughtering regular soldiers, button mashing. It would make it more interesting once you get to the generals if you have to use all the mechanics. I think that would make the game a little bit more dynamic.
Playing on hero mode saw even regular enemies removing larger portions of my health bar.
They have.
Which typically only happens when
I think they made like 2, isn't it? One Piece Pirate Warriors, I think, or something like that. They have. There's a Zelda one. There's a Gundam one.
Ultimate test against the man, the myth, the legend, Lu Bu, who fought the entire battle atop his steed until breaking his guard. His introduction is nothing short of what veterans will expect from him. He entered the scene as if he were the game's main character, instantly deleting entire squadrons of my allies and causing them to scream in terror.
Maximum masculinity.
Now, I don't know how he scales between all the
I know they're on Steam. I'm pretty sure they're on console too.
The hero difficulty, I managed to trigger the second phase of his fight and reduce him to under 40% health before running out of...
They got phases? We taking elements from fucking Soulsborne games? This shit got phases in the boss fights?
Healing items against this onslaught of unblockable attacks that dented over half my health per hit. This battle alone has sold me on the combat of Dynasty Warriors Origins. The only immediate downside I found with Dynasty Warriors Origins so far is the inability to play in co-op, as this series has been a staple for those wanting to play co-op online or split screen with friends and siblings. While I'm not going to completely let the developers off the hook for this, there is at least a built-in compromise. During mission preparations, you can select an allied general to accompany you, and during the mission, you can take control of them for a short period of time. This helps turn the tide in battles, especially if you are low on health or want to destroy many enemies in a shorter period.
Fight, then that's pretty cool.
These generals are much stronger than the protagonists in the game's early hours, and while I only activated the ability once, I learned two things. First, it was incredibly fun and gave me a great taste of other weapon types. And second, it was clear that this mechanic is meant to be one of those you activate when you need to go all in on a fight.
It matters not who the leader is.
You also gain access to various tactics along the way, like commanding a squadron of archers to rain arrows on enemies. These abilities are fine on their own, but if you use them at the right time, or in the right conditions, they can have an even more powerful effect to devastate armies and lower opponents' morale. Morale has always been another component of Dynasty Warriors, because whichever side has the higher morale gains bonuses in combat. In Origins, this is best exemplified by the red armor plates on enemy generals that reduce the damage you deal until they are all removed. Once all the yellow and red plates are removed, they become vulnerable to powerful assault attacks that make you untargetable while dealing out significant damage to both the enemy you've broken and any unlucky enemies nearby.
I need this.
Meanwhile, the customization system is back, and throughout the story, the protagonist will gain access to a handful of weapon types and skills called arts. The more you use the various weapons and arts, the more proficiency you gain to unlock new arts or upgrades for your current arts. To complement your weapons and arts, there are also several skill trees that will unlock things such as extra item slots to carry into battle, or enable the new extreme Musou attacks that allow you to combine with your allies for even larger, deadlier special moves that devastate crowds and stronger enemies. Starting out, I only had access to a single sword. Still, after defeating a general, I unlocked the ability to wield their twin pikes in future missions, which will be an incentive throughout the game to challenge all the generals in a mission, not just those set as
they actually put some effort forth.
Dynasty Warriors Origins has the potential to be the crown jewel in the Venerable series with its improved focus on combat, customization, and enhanced visuals. It's been nearly 20 years since I found myself eagerly waiting to play the newest Dynasty Warriors, but with the updates and enhancements I've seen so far in Dynasty Warriors Origins, that streak is no more. I walked away from my 2-hour demo session with a renewed interest in a series I once treasured, and I'm
You see how many people on the screen? I don't know if this coming to PS4. It'll probably blow it up.
For more on Dynasty Warriors Origins, don't miss the release date trailer.
Yeah, like him being able to
gameplay trailer.
Control the archers and juggle people. That was pretty cool.
Stick with IGN.
This might be a cop when the price drops. I don't know if I get it day one, but it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. What the people saying? Nostalgia's kicking my ass right now. This is the first Dynasty Warriors games I've been excited for since Dynasty Warriors 4. As usual, they about to cook with the soundtrack. Considering these offers have a complete moveset of their own, maybe it's safe to say that Origins like testing the waters for a new system. Very interesting. PS Vita port. What? Port? PS Vita? High-key, I wouldn't be surprised if it could run on the PS4. There's always done really well with the amount of enemies in FPS. That shit gonna be blurry as hell. There's a demo out tomorrow? Oh, shit. Might have to try that. All right, what was this? Sources. NBA All-Star Game to have a pickup-style tournament format. The NBA's new four-team tournament style format for the 2025 All-Star Game is expected to have 2 semifinal games played up to 40 points, with the winners advancing to the final match up to 25 points, sources told ESPN. What does that mean? Does that mean in the first round, first to 40, and then they play first to 25? Like, I don't understand. The first of its kind event is expected to serve as a quick burst competition that resembles pickup games, where the winner moves to the championship round in single elimination play. Sources told ESPN last week the NBA was in serious discussions to have 3 All-Star teams of 8 players each, and the winner of the Rising Star Game take part in the All-Star Game tournament. The 4 teams would face each other in matchups, for instance, Team 1 versus Team 3, and then Team 2 versus Team 4, and the winners move on to the finals. League officials discussed the new format on Friday with a competitive committee consisting of governors, team executives, players, coaches, and union personnel, sources say. NBA team executives concepts with the league officials past 6 months, including extensive conversations at the Summer League in Las Vegas. What's the incentive though? So the issue with the All-Star Game is a lack of effort. I don't know if adding 2 more teams and changing the actual format to have the games of 1 is going to increase the effort. People just want to see these all-stars play together and play hard. Like, it was fun to watch Kobe versus Jordan. It was because they was really going at it. That's what people are looking for. I don't know if this is gonna, I mean, I'm gonna keep an open mind. I'll check it out because it's new. At least they're trying something new, but I don't know if this is gonna fix the problem. We just want the players the ball, that's all. And also let the refs play. Stop calling every goddamn thing. This whole setup is ass in my opinion. I don't get why they just don't play hard for 1 all-star and make it That's what I'm saying. Like, if anything, it could be set up to be worse because now we gotta watch a total of 3 games. You gotta watch the first 2 games and then the finals. And if all the games are boring, who the fuck wants to watch 3 boring games? I'd rather just watch 1 boring game. The players need more incentive to really want to play. I think that's the only way for them. When them contracts stop, because you know the numbers are down for viewership. When them big TV contracts stop coming in, the money gonna start drying up. They gonna start playing harder. Yeah, I don't know. I'll keep an open mind and see, but I don't know. I don't know if this will be any good. I say we should vote for guys who we want to be there. Who would you vote for? Exactly, it could just turn niggas into phoning it in. Stars just don't care enough to be competitive anymore. Like, the stars don't even show up in the dunk contest. That shit is whack. I'm old enough to remember when the best players played in the dunk contest. Like, Anthony Edwards should be in the dunk contest. Ja Morant should be in the dunk contest. Zion Gumbo Williamson should be in the dunk contest. Giannis should be in the dunk contest. And that shit was fun to watch. Your best players do that. But now egos are so involved, they don't want to get clipped losing to somebody. Stranova. The other thing is the Rising Star team. Someone like Wemby will probably be an all-star on the Rising Star. True. You could mess up the lineups because things could be intertwined. Callisto Protocol, PS5 Pro, who cares? Homeworld 3 launch trailer. What's this? Joel Embiid complaining about his commute to practice. Hold up.
Right, it's been times with Joel Embiid wasn't on time to practice, and you know me. Come on, Joe, man. What's up, G? Come on, man. Come on, Joe. Come on, Joe. Be better, Joe. Be great, Joe. Be great. And then his response to be like, "What the man? You get me out of bed? I'm an hour and a half away. I mean, I had to get up 2 hours, before, because everyone doesn't live the same spots,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So, like, what we go do? Give me my ball. That same night he had 50 and we won.
Yeah.
I think we were 21-9 the first 30 games, like the best record since 2004, Allen Iverson when I was with Philly. So it's just surprising to see, especially because all the hard work that Nick Nurse and his coaches have put in. It's hard to see.
Which we already know. What I will say, though, is I'm not saying he lying, but what I will say, though, is I do think it's very convenient that he decided to say this on a podcast after they just had a player meeting where Tyrese Maxey was complaining about him being late. Like, to me, it kind of feels like you're just kind of dunking on the situation. But, you got to get your views, cash in, Let's see. Path of Exile 2 opening cinematic. Gameplay trailer. Joel worried more about, he wilding, worrying about the snitches. Who told? Like, bro, you just need to get good. To be honest, most of these dudes don't love ball. They just talented. It's hard to question if somebody loves it or not. I just think there's so much money involved. I think there's too many guaranteed contracts. Like, I remember when I was younger, like, it felt like maybe one person on the team, and it was usually the best person, had a guaranteed contract. But even like role players are getting $100 million guaranteed contracts. It's too much of that. Like, bro, if you giving them $100 million contract, they need to be guaranteed maybe like 50. That other 50 need to be based off incentives. How healthy are you? How often do you play? How do you perform? It's just so it's hard to be motivated when, like, Jaylen Brown got a $300 million contract. Imagine where do you find the motivation to roll out of bed and go hard? Jokic is definitely doing it for the money. Well, yeah, he needs money for his horses. That's why he plays so hard, so he can breed more horses. Big helmet heroes, cuisine. None of this looks interesting. But Jokic plays hard. He does. That's what I'm saying. The money motivates him because he needs that money to get horses, is what I'm saying. Versus these dudes, they just need the money to buy chains and shit. Like, I don't know. I'm playing for the food budget. This is called Stranova. Waifu shooter? anime CS:GO? Are you serious? No gameplay? Gameplay, we don't care.
Existence is a thing of beauty. Precious.
Path to Exile 2. I see some of y'all talk about this in the chat. This lit? This game lit?
Life and death are mortal enemies, and yet bound to one another. The continuation of life must be protected at all costs. Some have said my methods are brutal. To this, I say, there can be no salvation.
Better than Diablo? Oh, it's like Diablo.
Sacrifice.
What makes it better? 'Cause from the eye test, it looks like Diablo. It looks good. Skill tree and complex abilities. God damn, that skill tree is crazy. More for hardcore players, Diablo's for casuals. Oh. It's free? Yeah, the skill tree bigger than Earth.
We are faced with the end, and I will do what I must.
PS4 release, too many particle effects. Next dimension skill tree. The gaming is dead. Right, there's nothing to play.
Those who obsess with death, let them soon be acquainted with it.
When you get a chance, can you try it on stream? Path to Exile 1 is free. Why? Path to Exile 2 is about to come out. You said it's free. Looks pretty good. It's just kind of hard to tell. Outside of the skill tree, it's kind of hard to tell what's the difference between this and Diablo.